Aloha folks, my name is Spoonks and I saw Raya and the Last Dragon, and it was great. While I don't think it's worth the $30 on Disney Plus, seriously Disney, why is it just your Asian movies that you're charging to watch on your streaming service? I did have a really good time with this movie, and while I do think Moana is slightly better, I do think this is a worthy addition to the Disney animation canon. First off, as typical with any Disney animated movie, the animation is gorgeous. The lighting, the textures are, and the landscapes are all photorealistic with every single detail. You see every granite of stone, every fur, every hair, every piece of cloth. It's beautiful. The movements are nice and fluid. The designs are well done. And even the food actually looks really good. I honestly, after watching this, really got hungry and went out to eat some pollo after this because it just made me that hungry. So, if you were looking for appetizing and good looking food in a Disney movie, then this is the movie for you. The fight scenes in here as well are awesome. They might even rival Kung Fu Panda's fight scenes as they're well shot, intense, awesome, and epic to look at. Well shot, well staged, and honestly pretty painful to look at. Some of these hits and kicks and jabs the characters throw in or get looked really painful, and honestly, at some points, it had me saying to myself, oh my god, that looked really painful. I hope they're okay. I also really like the world building in this movie. I loved how they created the world of Kamandra and how each land and tribe is represented by a different feature of a dragon, like heart, fang, tail. I thought that was really cool, and how each tribe represented a different country from Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Malaysia, and the Philippines. The characters in here are also strong and likable as well. The two that stand out to me were Raya and Namari, ironically the two leads. I thought they had a great dynamic and the movie set up their relationship perfectly, and their scenes together lead to some of the most intense and emotional moments in the movie, with each both learning about the value of trusting one another, which I'll get to later. The other side characters, while not as interesting or as fully developed as our two leads, I thought were also pretty likable in here. They had some good motivation, good backstory, and they didn't overstay their welcome or become annoying, especially Sisu, who I, and I know many other people, was worried about. I thought she was going to be a little overwhelming with the jokes, especially in the trailer, with every joke she said wasn't all that funny, but thankfully in the movie she does contribute more to the story. In fact, she's the one who tries to help Raya trust more people, and the gags and jokes she uses and does in the movie are much funnier than the trailer. She's actually provided a couple laughs here and there, and you can tell that she genuinely cares about the others and wants to help out the team. So yeah, the side characters are a ton of fun, and they do a lot more than the trailer gives out, especially with Sisu. The trailer makes her look much worse than she is in the movie. And lastly, I really enjoyed the story in here. I thought it was really engaging and it kept me invested throughout the whole movie. I also really liked how Disney took a much more serious approach with their animated movies, because most of their movies have been lighthearted and silly. Even if they dealt with dark themes, like Big Hero 6 deals with the loss of a family member, that one was still lighthearted and silly. This one is more of an action adventure movie, and I definitely appreciate that because it makes it stand out above the rest. However, I do not consider this movie to be flawless, as I do have a few issues with it. The first and biggest problem is the comedy. Now, I won't call it plain unfunny, as I did laugh a decent amount of times, not as much as I did with Wreck-It Ralph, or as hard as in Moana or Zootopia, but I did get a few laughs here. However, most of the jokes are just plain not all that funny, as they feel a little forced and poorly timed and take away from the serious tone of the movie, but that's just me. Again, I don't think this movie is painfully unfunny. I just think they could have worked a little better on the jokes and the comedy to make it feel natural instead of forced, and definitely worked on the timing better. I also feel that at points the movie can move too fast, as the characters are always constantly on the move, and I get that it's a time crunching movie and you need to find the MacGuffin to get the other MacGuffin, but it definitely felt like you never caught a break, as the movie was always moving fast and it just kept on going. It didn't really, in my opinion, slow down. And I also think this causes a detriment to the side characters, as we rarely don't really get to know too much about them. It's not that they're underdeveloped, in fact, they got good motivation and they're a ton of fun to watch, but we never get time to really know all that much about their backstory, and it causes them to feel a little underdeveloped in some cases. So I definitely think the movie should have slowed down a bit more so we could have spend more time with the characters, or shorten the number of characters, because this movie has a large cast of characters. And I feel like with this number of people in the movie is a little too much for it to handle. But with that said, I still found this movie to be exceptionally good. It's got beautiful animation, awesome fight scenes, great world building, strong characters, and a great story. Now, again, I do not really think that $30 is worth it for this movie, especially since it'll be free in June. But if you can wait a couple months, or if you're really curious and comfortable with seeing it at the theater or drive-in, I'd say go for it. And if you do definitely have the money, sure, I'd say cough it off, because I definitely think this is much more deserving of that than that terrible Mulan movie. But still, check it out, guys, as I highly recommend that you go see it. So those are my thoughts on Raya and the Last Dragon. What did you guys think of it if you've seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.